United Airlines shares surge on higher profit and strong demand forecast, CNBC. United said it expects another profit for the fourth quarter. United Airlines forecast another profit for the end of the year and said consumer appetite for travel is showing no signs of slowing down. Despite high airfares, shares jumped more than 7% in after H. Plus 2634 Chars. Sources dispute Bayonetta voice actor's claims over pay offer. Video Games Chronicle. The former star behind the Platinum action series ignited a debate over fair pay this weekend. Sources have disputed recent claims by former Bayonetta voice actor Helena Taylor, who said she was offered an insulting offer of just $4,000 to reprise her role in the third game in a Sir. Plus 3341 Chars. Stocks surge again as corporate America's earnings impress, CNN. So much for Shocktober. Wall Street's often scary month for stocks has suddenly turned into Rocktober. So much for Shocktober. Wall Street's often scary month for stocks has suddenly turned into Rocktober. The Dow surged nearly 600 points, or 2%, shortly after the opening bell Tuesday before giving you plus 1161 Chars. People who sleep 5 hours or less a night face higher risk of multiple health problems as they age. Study finds, CNN. A large new study published provides evidence that people 50 and older who sleep 5 hours or less at night have a greater risk of developing multiple chronic diseases as they age compared with peers who get a longer night's rest. Sign up for CNN's Sleep But Better newsletter series. Our 7-part guide has helpful hints to achieve better sleep. A large new study published provides evidence that people 50 and older who sleep plus 5026 Chars. NASA telescope takes 12-year time-lapse movie of entire sky. NASA. Pictures of the sky can show us cosmic wonders. Movies can bring them to life. Movies from NASA's NEOWISE Space Telescope are revealing motion and change across the sky. Null. Twitter praises Bill Belichick after Chargers bench J.C. Jackson. NESN. NFL Twitter tipped their caps to Bill Belichick when the Los Angeles Chargers benched high-priced cornerback J.C. Jackson on Monday. Skip to content. Less than Lee greater than spacer less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than scores and amp. Schedule less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than standings less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than league leaders less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than player stats less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than team stats less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than league transactions less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than league injuries less than, Lee greater than less than Lee greater than plus 2291 Chars. Apple stock ticks down on report of cut to iPhone 14 Plus production, CNBC. Demand may be soft for the lower-end Plus compared with the Pro Max. According to a report, shares of Apple dipped Tuesday, a report that the company has asked one supplier to stop producing a component for the iPhone 14 Plus while the company re-evaluates demand. One of Apple's manufacture, plus 1019 Chars. Stocks surge again as corporate America's earnings impress, CNN. So much for Shocktober. Wall Street's often scary month for stocks has suddenly turned into Rocktober. So much for Shocktober. Wall Street's often scary month for stocks has suddenly turned into Rocktober. The Dow surged nearly 600 points, or 2%, shortly after the opening bell Tuesday before giving you plus 1161 chars. Top 10 Raw Moments. WWE Top 10. October 17, 2022 WWE. WWE Top 10 takes you back to this week's explosive Monday Night Raw to revisit the show's most thrilling, physical and controversial moments. Catch WWE Actio. Null. Saudi Arabia sentences U.S. citizen to 16 years over tweets critical of regime, The Guardian. Move is another sign of kingdom's aggressive crackdown on any whiff of dissent posted on social media. An American citizen has been sentenced to 16 years in prison in Saudi Arabia for tweeting critically about the Saudi regime. In another sign of the kingdom's aggressive crackdown on any whiff of dis. Plus 3430 chars. Why do mosquitoes bite some people more than others? It's how you smell. The Washington Post. People who have higher levels of certain acids on their skin are 100 times more attractive to the female Aedes aegypti. A new study shows. Comment on this story. Some people are magnets for mosquitoes, emitting a tantalizing combination of chemicals that invite the pesky insects to dine on them. Researchers at Rockefeller University in plus 5553 chars. Neymar trial explained. The charges, the defense and a list of VIP witnesses. The Athletic. The Neymar 2 feet trial is underway, with the Brazilian one of a number of people facing accusations of corruption and attempted fraud. Paris Saint-Germain star Neymar traveled to Barcelona this week. Monday was the start date for the Neymar 2 feet trial, where the Brazilian, among multiple football personalities, is facing accusations. Plus 1474 chars. Overwatch 2's free-to-play grind and battle pass system has players wanting loot boxes back. Kotaku. Any hype for sparkly new Overwatch 2 skins is immediately deflated for players because of the game's oppressive grind. In the 2 weeks Overwatch 2 has been live, yes. It's only been 2 weeks players have become so disappointed with the hero shooter's free-to-play grind and battle pass system that they're longing for the plus 4879 chars. Netflix crushes expectations across the board. Adds 2.41 million subscribers. CNBC. Netflix reported third-quarter earnings after the bell. Here are the results. Netflix shares skyrocketed more than 14% after the bell Tuesday as the company posted better than expected results on the top and bottom lines. The streamer also reported the addition of 2.41 million plus 2176 chars. Why Harrison Ford's Red Hulk will be difficult to take seriously. CBR. Comic book resources. Null. Phillies Padres. Philly gets positive injury news. Bryce Harper hoping this San Diego trip goes better. The Philadelphia Inquirer. This will be the first time the Phillies and the Padres have met in the postseason. Null. Boston University pushes back on claims of new, deadly, COVID strain. NBC 10 Boston. BU's National Emerging Infectious Diseases Laboratories has been studying the Omicron variant and the original strain to see if Omicron was less likely to cause. There's some friction between the federal government and Boston University researchers after the publication of a new COVID-19 study. BU said reports by some publications saying they had created a N+2564 CHARS. Earth just got zapped by the biggest gamma-ray burst of all time, Salon. The explosion, dubbed GRB 221009A, came as astronomers were gathering at a symposium on gamma-ray astrophysics. Null. Phillies Padres. Philly gets positive injury news. Bryce Harper hoping this San Diego trip goes better, the Philadelphia Inquirer. This will be the first time the Phillies and the Padres have met in the postseason. Null. Aya gives super early look at next generation Sims game. Project Rene. Eurogamer.net. As part of its first ever Behind the Sims Summit stream event, Aya has given a super early look at its next Sims game. As part of its first ever Behind the Sims Summit stream event, Aya has given a super early look at its next Sims game, code-named Project Rene, and shared a few future plans for The Sims 4 project. +2649 CHARS. Housing. How much higher can mortgage rates go? Yahoo Money. Where rates end up in the remaining months of 2022 has led many housing economists to revisit their forecasts yet again. At the start of 2022, many housing economists expected mortgage rates to hit 4% by year-end. Last week, they nearly reached 7%, the highest point in 20 years. The rapid ascent touched off by the fader. +5745 CHARS. Dad is publicly shamed by SeaWorld mime for allegedly letting wife do the heavy lifting in viral footage. Yahoo Life. He said he was really hungry and that his feet were hurting. A mime working at SeaWorld went viral when he called out a dad for appearing to neglect his hard-working wife, but some TikTokers feel the dad isn't getting a fair shake. The footage, recorded by a C+3287 CHARS. Kristen Smart murder trial live updates. Juries reach verdicts in mystery of missing college student. ABC News. Jurors began deliberating in the Paul Flores trial on October 4, after hours of closing arguments wrapped. In his closing argument, defense attorney Robert Sanger told the jury, "There is no evidence +566 CHARS." Hair straightening chemical products linked to increased uterine cancer risk in new study. CNN. Scientists are uncovering new details in the connection between using certain hair straightening products, such as chemical relaxers and pressing products, and an increased risk of cancer in women. Scientists are uncovering new details in the connection between using certain hair straightening products, such as chemical relaxers and pressing products, and an increased risk of cancer in women. +5748 CHARS. Watch for fireballs. Orionids meteor shower expected to peak this week. Fox Weather. The Orionids meteor shower is considered to be one of the most beautiful showers of the year, and its peak is expected this week. The Orionids meteor shower is considered to be one of the most beautiful showers of the year, and its peak is expected this week. According to NASA, the Orionids meteor shower will peak on October 21 plus 1792 chars. NFL Power Rankings Week 7 NFL. Check out our other channels. NFL Mundo https www.youtube.com/mundanflnfl Brazil https www.youtube.com/c/NFL Brazil Officialful UK https www.youtube.com/ch null. Why Sony could live to regret getting the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal blocked. Windows Central. Some regulators seem convinced Sony is in peril. Microsoft's massive acquisition of gaming behemoth Activision Blizzard seems increasingly in doubt. Which begs the question, what would be next if it fails? Earlier in the year, Microsoft outlined P+1027 chars.